All right, welcome back to Top Agent Training. I am Kurt. We're going to take a few minutes and talk about water heaters, and we're inspecting them. And there's some common misconceptions that have come up over the years. Let me tell you, number one, we don't actually even touch it. We don't operate the TPR valve. We don't take it apart. We literally just look at it and we make sure it's making hot water. And I'll show you how we do that. But basically, the first thing we're looking at is their corrosion deficiencies. Is it old? We're looking at the capacity. We're looking at the serial number so that we can get the year it was manufactured and tell the client how old it is. We're looking at the condition of the plumbing around it. So the basic gist is a water heater is just a tank with either a natural gas flame and sometimes a propane flame if they're out in the middle of nowhere. If you're wondering the difference between natural gas and propane, kind of when you go further out from the main city and you want to be on gas of some kind, but they haven't run natural gas service all the way out to that area. That's when you'll find a propane tank on site, and then the propane is in lieu of natural gas. So either natural gas or electricity are going to have heating elements, a flame or an electrical heating element to heat the water. That's it. That's the basic premise of it. And so what we do is we document it. The only extra thing is if you have a natural gas water heater, we want to make sure the gases are being exhausted properly to the outside of the house so that there's nothing combustible there. That does get really hot if you've ever looked at it, or if you've looked at one of our thermal pictures we take of a gas water heater. And then basically while we're in the kitchen, we just turn the hot water on and we have a little laser thermometer and it just shows us that it's making hot water. And then so if I were to go to the template here and show you what we're looking at, we take a picture of the whole water heater, the label plate, we show that it's making hot water. We will take carbon monoxide readings if the water heater's in the house. So that happens rarely. The SOP is how big is it? What year was it manufactured? What is the energy source we just talked about? How big is it? We give a little write-up to your clients on how to properly do. Anyway, there's a write-up there that tells your client how the annual maintenance to do on their water heater. If for some reason we couldn't get to the water heater, sometimes maybe on a mobile home, it's in a closet that's locked, you can't get to it, whatever the case may be. The actual water heater itself, if there's corrosion, if it's old, if it's not big, I mean, if you've got like a 5,000 square foot house and one 40-gallon water heater with 6 bedrooms, that may not be enough for the number of people that are going to live there. Again, any issues with the exhaust ducts, water temperature, we want to keep that under 120 because if you got little kids or whatever and it gets above that, that's the number that somebody picked a long time ago. Nothing to do with us. It was a funny story. We took our team in Denver to a Rockies game, to a baseball game. And so you got like 6 home inspectors and office staff all sitting there. And literally, you know how they'll do the little quizzes in between the innings? So it's really funny. The very first quiz they did, it says, what is the maximum temperature that your hot water in your house should be? And I'm like, we got a row full of home inspectors sitting here like 120. Kind of knew the answer. We didn't win anything though. Sad face. Okay, combustible air. Again, if we take carbon dioxide level inside the house and there's an issue, we'll write that down. And then again, any issues with a TPR valve, if something with the line, if it's undersized, if it's leaking, etc. So that is what literally, you could do a water heater inspection in like 4 minutes. Super simple. But another quick story. Everybody loves stories, right? So get a phone call at 5:30, 6 o'clock at night for a house that I just got done doing. So I had started at 1, I think. So we were doing the walkthrough 3:30, and I get a call from our agent who's like, "Oh my God, Kurt, the water heater's broken, and they don't want to know what you did to it, and now it smells like gas in their basement." This is up in Colorado. And I go, I didn't do anything to it. I'm like, I don't touch it. As a matter of fact, I remember that I had forgotten to grab the water temperature, and I had done it at the end in front of the realtor and their client. And I said, well, Mrs. Realtor, I go, you remember, I took that reading right in front of you. It was working when we left the house. So the point is, when you've done as many inspections as I have, which is in the thousands, there's going to be bad luck. And so basically by the time when we left the house at whatever it was, 3:34, and when the homeowner came home at 5:30 and goes to take a shower afterward, the water heater broken. So of course, blame the inspector. What did the inspector do? And again, I go, I don't touch the water heater. I just run water. There's nothing to touch about it through the course of our inspection. So it ends up that his son-in-law was a plumber. He comes over. It was only a 3-year-old water heater, and it was some kind of internal component that was known on that particular model to fail, and it did. So they had to fix it. Anyway, it's not usually the inspector. Sometimes it can be the inspector, but if I were to find that the water heater didn't work, I would write that down. Again, they'd probably go, well, what did you do to it? Like, I just ran water, didn't do anything to it. So at any rate, now you know what we're doing when we're looking at water heaters, and so you can just, again, set the right expectations for your clients. All right, we'll see you in the next training.